Hey, Susan Mary, welcome to the show. Kimberly, welcome. Okay, good everybody in here. Hey, Cleo. It's about 14 after 11 p.m. Welcome everybody coming out here all over the place. Yes, indeed. This is CmdrAleon, host. Hey, Timmy. Timmy was worried. Thank you, Commander. I was worried. We're here. We're here. I'll never conform. I like that. Hey, I never conform. Good to have that name. That looks always good now. I like that. And Elvira, good to see you. Christina, everybody coming here. Last night was a wild show. We're still, I think we're like 2 shows behind. Ruby, everybody coming here. Last night was just crazy. Susan Mary, thank you for the heart. Jojo, good evening. Gary Haas in Iowa, good to see you. Ronnie Roswell, that's a good name. Ronnie Roswell, Real Deal Steel, good to have you with us, brother. Everybody coming in here. One Toyota. Hey, Danny. Hey, Danny. Let's see. Sunny, Gal, Florida. Good to see you. Plating Rainbow. And we will have the other, I have like 2 shows behind. We will have the other 2 shows on the YouTube channel. And just please follow me. If you're not following me here on TikTok, please do. Thank you for the gift. We appreciate it. For Sandra, for the gift, thank you so much. Linda Willow, that's my Jen. Thank you for the follow. And I encourage people to follow us. If you're not following us, please do. Let's see, IV. Let's see, I'm trying to look at some of the names here. Hey, thank you for the FYP, everybody. Definitely FYP. Pass the word here tonight. It's early yet, and we're at 64. So people, as they know that we're here, will come in. So that people know we are alive and well. Thank you very much. Cassie, let's see, Soli Sage, welcome. Yuri's Clips, welcome Yuri's Clips. And Jersey for Life, good to you sent 2 videos. Very, very beautiful. Thank you so much. All the new people, we thank you for being here. And did you know that Jupiter? Did you know that Jupiter has rings around the planet? And of course, the trains are coming by. So it wouldn't be a show without the trains going by. They come by at this time. Did you know that, the train, yes. Interesting that they, all these years, have now said that there's rings around the planet Pluto. It's good to see you, Worldwind, everybody here. What else are they finding out that they don't know about? Yeah, James Webb. It's funny, in the way the news, points out about life elsewhere, about some planet that's similar to us with like water. What I found interesting is they're saying potentially they found life on another planet. What's funny about this is people that are not into what's going on right now, people that are just, billions of people going to work every day in whatever country they're in, hear the story. Oh, there might be life on this planet that's all the way like, was it 10 billion, whatever. I haven't looked it up yet. But they said it was like so many billions of years away from Earth, And what I find interesting, hey, welcome everybody, is that as I'm listening to this news story on mainstream media, it was on ABC Good Morning America this morning, they're talking about this planet, and the one woman's talking about this planet like it has water and all these things to sustain life and all that. And I'm saying to myself, the majority of people that watch Good Morning America as an example about this planet, wherever it is. Hey, good to see you. Hey, Arnold. If they only knew that there are planets that have life on them all over the universe, just in one universe. If they only knew that no matter how many light years away this planet is, so they're saying if we were able to get to this planet, we might find suitable life, right? So they keep on portraying the universe as a place where, again, we need to find life like we have on Earth. We have to have life that's like on Earth. The fact of the matter is, they're not telling people the fact that there's life everywhere. It's like, oh, well, we finally found a possibility of a planet that has all the things that we want to look for in a planet, the water and everything. All right. So we got the water, we got the planet that's all the way out there. That would take us time to get there. So one planet, that's right, Jersey, one planet. So now there's hope that one planet will have life on it. We might just be lucky if we believe those news stories that are being perpetuated from that story this morning to the media, that one planet will have life on it. Yes. Could you imagine how many people who watch Good Morning America or whatever channels, NBC and all these channels that did probably show the story in their own their own angle, that if I wasn't so aware, if you weren't so aware, we'd be sitting there watching the news, whatever channel it is, all of a sudden the report comes on, there's a planet out there, there's one planet out there that might have life on it. Oh, I never, real deal, I'm not sure about that. I mean, I'm not sure about the answer. But what I find very interesting is, and I'm going to look at this thing here in a few minutes, that they show this story about this planet. They use AI to make us, just what this planet would look like if we were there, and that this planet would be a planet that would be like ours. Didn't they find a planet a while ago that had like artificial lights from the surface? And they never talked about it much. They had this planet. I think it was the Hubble telescope, one of these powerful telescopes, found this planet. And it looked like there were lights, just like if you were looking down at Earth, you'd see areas of the Earth when you're close to the atmosphere where there are lights protruding from the surface. So you would think, okay, there are lights protruding from the surface, artificial lights, therefore there must be life on that planet, right? So if you're coming to Earth and you see artificial lights, what would you think? If you're coming to Earth, you would think that there would be life. Let's see here. Oh no, Mars is not hot. Mars is a very livable planet. Hey, Paul, 345. Good to see you, brother. Mars is a planet with 10 to 15 million inhabitants on the planet. Just to answer your question. Okay, I don't know what that's about. Would you? Let's see. I think that person needs to be bye-bye. Nothing. I don't know what that Sean Paul thing was. They just knocked them out. I don't know what that's all about, so they're not here anymore. So, yeah, Mars is a planet of 10 to 15 million inhabitants. Kimberly, yeah, I saw it. I finally looked up as soon as you mentioned this person. I looked up and saw that. Unrelated comment. Jesus loves you. Welcome. Cam, welcome to the show. And, so what intrigues me is, let me see here if I have the information. And I'm going to go here and see what Siri says here. Because Siri was doing her own thing the other night. Hey Siri, what planet have they found that has life on it just recently? Let me see here. Scientists find strong evidence yet of life at distant planet. The planet's the K2-18b. This could be the this can be the tipping point. Astronomers announced Thursday that they have detected the most promising hints of potential life on a planet beyond our solar system. Though other scientists expressed skepticism, there has been vigorous debate in scientific circles about whether the planet K2-18b, which is 124 light years away from the Leo constellation, could be an ocean world capable of hosting microbial life, micro life at least. Micro life. So I'm getting excited. We might find that there's another planet that will have micro life. Using the James Webb Telescope, a British-U.S. team of researchers detected signs of two chemicals in the planet's atmosphere long considered to be biosignatures indicating extraterrestrial life. On Earth, the chemicals dimethyl sulfide, DMS, and dimethyl disulfide are produced only by life, mostly microscopic marine algae called plankton. The researchers emphasized caution, saying that more observations were needed to confirm these findings and that they were not announcing definite discovery. Isn't that interesting? 124 light years away. And this might be the planet of all planets that has microlife on it. Microlife. I'm getting excited about microlife, everybody. I'm getting amped up about microlife. Yes. Because let's face it, as far as the scientists are concerned, they haven't found any advanced life out there. But it could be micro. It could be a microorganism. Melissa Neal, welcome. Yes, I can't believe we're at 135 people. Come on, let's amp it up here. If you're not here, I don't know where you are. Microlife, everybody. In the 3 years I've done this show, with scientists have discovered 124 light years away a planet that has potential microlife. I'm excited. Oh boy. The commander is so excited about microlife 124 light years away in the Leo constellation. Now, I know many of you are excited as well about microlife. There's a theme here. Just for a moment, I'm going here with this because I understand what their scientists are excited about. Other scientists are skeptical of the microlife. So there's some scientists that don't agree with the other scientists that think there might be some microlife on this planet that's mostly water. There could be water life in the water. There could be all kinds of life in the water. Yes, Mindspeak, our scientists need to have a major high-frequency download. I agree with you. They need to. Yes. If the scientists only were here on encounters, we might be able to teach them a thing or two from all my guests that have been on here in 3 years, that you don't have to look for microlife 124 light years away from Earth. All you have to do is listen to people on my show, and you'll realize that people have space people coming to their homes from other planetary systems every day and night. Every day and night. Yeah, see, we'll say it. The truth is, life has existed forever in the multiverse. And they're looking at one planet from the James Webb Telescope, not to mention the rings around Pluto. Yes. Now that's interesting. All these years since I was a kid, Pluto is Pluto. And now Pluto has rings around the planet. How did we ever forget to figure that out in 70 years that there were rings around Pluto? Now, there are rings around Saturn. Thank you for the gifts. But rings around Pluto? What else are we missing here? What other boats are we missing? What other ships are we missing out there in the sea? Yeah, it does make sense. So these are the things that our major media and print media and internet media will tell you. Rings around Jupiter, planet 124 light years away, potential microorganisms exist. Whoop-de-doo. Yep. Oh yeah. I'm getting excited. Are you? I'm excited.
You need to get off for a minute.
Okay, I'll be right back, folks. All right, honey, I love you. Okay. Okay, everybody, welcome to the show. And like I was saying, good day, Bonnie, also everyone coming, Rachel, everybody here, Connie Cazel. So we are in the midst of scientific astronomical breakthroughs based on these two findings. And I think now last night's show, I'm still downloading last night's show. Last night's show blew me away. Thank you, Jersey for Life. Last night's show, if you weren't watching last night's show, it will be on my YouTube channel. And I'm telling you, last night's show was like out of this world. It was. We had some phenomenal guests, as we always do. And last night's show, we had a person who's been on my show before that I helped a long time. Hey, Chasno, good to see you. Last night's show, this person went into one of the rooms in their house, and he has spaceships over the location where he was. And they were actually, and he was actually, they were doing sort of like a Morse code thing with this light in this room. The light got bright. The light would blink. If you missed last night's show, I will have it on my YouTube channel. I've been doing this stuff for a long time, and that, I'm talking for whatever, not just here on TikTok. Oh, and I'm good to see you. But I'm telling you, what happened last night, and I had him put his hands, he put his phone down, and people wanted to see whether he was turning the light on or if he wasn't. He had his hands, he showed me his hands, everyone saw it. He wasn't playing with lighting. The extraterrestrials were using his lighting to send sort of a message, almost like in Morse code, and they respond to questions. It was really kind of, I don't care who's on TikTok out there, there's not one UFO show that I've known or person on this. In 3 years I've seen people on TikTok doing topics on this subject. I've never seen anything like this. Never. I'm telling you, it's going to blow you away when you see the recorded show on YouTube if you missed it. And we will have him on again, okay? And I also was giving him some advice. Hey, Ann, good to see you. Welcome to the show. You know, I tried to discount all the possibilities, and at the end of the night, there's nothing that can confirm something logical. There's no logical explanation for what happened. I've been in this subject for over 20 years. I've never ever seen anything like that. My YouTube channel, David. Hey, David, is called Astro Command Spaceship News. I do have a link on my bio for people to go there. I don't have. Yeah, there could be hoaxers out there. This was not hoaxed. I've interviewed this person. I know who they are, and they're legit. You know, they're legit. There was no hoaxers in this. I've been involved in this stuff way long. I was also being a contactee in the 60s as a kid. I've seen too many UFOs or spaceships, what people might call non-terrestrial craft, since I was a kid in the 60s. So I've been around a while on the subject. Paranormal, welcome. Good to see you. Mind speak. Yeah. And he's the real deal. This person's real. And I can understand there are people out there that, you know, think that some things could be that way, but no, not my show. I don't have anybody on here that I've ever had that can hoax anything. Hey, Terry Venus. This person's real. Hey, Star Knowledge. We're going to have to bring Star Knowledge up here. Star Knowledge, you missed something last night that was like crazy. I might even be able to show some of that part of the show from last night. It's not downloaded yet, but I'm telling you, if the word gets out about last night's show, I might put a clip on my channel here. I think I'll put a clip on once it's downloaded. I'll show a little clip on my main page, and you're going to see what's going on with this thing. And if it doesn't go viral, then people aren't watching. Starlight Temple says, I have tons of contacts and sightings. Well, I think we're going to, I definitely want to follow Starlight. And I think what we're going to do is bring Starlight up as a new person, then my friend Eddie up as well. And we're going to get things rolling here. But I'm telling you, let me see here. If I can do this, you're about to see some amazing stuff here. Hold on a minute. Let me go to my TikTok thing here. And it would have been, yeah, here we go. I'm going to show people my show here. This is something that it's going to blow your mind. Let's see here. Can I do this?
Easter. So,
is your daughter
something will happen to me.
Sending, we all have children, right? Is your daughter aware of what's going on? And saying, what time are you going to be here? Doing what we call our Ashtar Command gatherings in Connecticut. We do a thing called the Ashtar Command C5 group. We go to an apple orchard. All right, man.
You're the man. Everybody on here, make sure that you follow the commander. I'm right there with him. This is sending. Sean, signing off.
Yeah, well, I don't do anything. What time are you going to be here? Doing what we call our Ashtar Command gathering in Christ consciousness.
Yes, and Ashley, yes, 420 something.
I want to show you this here, folks. I'm going to show you this.
And that is a very emotional event for me.
Hey, Kate, good to see you. Ja, 1984, welcome. I think it's Ja. Thank you, Bonnie Ellis, Mary Helen. Hey, Days. Okay, let me see if I have this downloaded here. Hold on a minute. I think I have it downloaded. I want to show you this, folks. Let's see. Is this one here Okay, let's see here. Nope, this is not it. But there is a show. Anyway, there is, I'm going to show you this one part of it. I'm going to show you some more. Good to see you. Being in Christ consciousness. So let me show you this here for a minute.
And Ashley, yes, 420 something. 420 something is definitely going to happen. That is a very emotional event for me. That is my daughter's birthday for one.
Okay, let me do this here. Hold on.
Easter. So,
is your daughter
something will happen to me.
Sending, we all have children, right? All right, I want to show you this here. This is from last night. An indigo child. You're going to see, this is only a clip from it. Let's go out for dinner at, to the and again, he's not touching anything. Watch this. In consciousness, everything operates in time. Okay. When there's these space people, they don't operate in time. The ones that you're communicating with. See the light? They don't operate in time like we do on Earth. So for them. So he's not touching the light. Yeah. There's spaceships above his location. And for those who didn't see it, I'm just showing you a clip. I'm going to show you some more of this tomorrow night. Are the positive beings of light that are now, and they're using his lights, and they're getting brighter and then getting dimmer. They don't operate from last night. So I would say this to them again, like as I and he's not touching anything. He's not touching any lights whatsoever. Works in Christ consciousness. I have to now the light just got really bright and it's not blinking anymore. Now it's blinking again. Now it went out.
I think it became more stable because we became more stable mindset.
So they're communicating with him. This started happening 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago. All right. I'm going to wait till I get it on my YouTube channel. And again, on the YouTube channel, I will do a replay of some of it here. Let me get in here. Hold on a minute. There's a lot going on. Let's put it that way. For those that were on last night, that was an absolutely amazing show. I mean, I might be biased, but I think all my shows are amazing. All my guests are amazing that I've had on here for as long as I've been on TikTok. And so I want to, it was really unbelievable. Yeah, it was amazing. I want to bring the person on who's having contact. Where is she? It'll be on my YouTube channel most likely by tomorrow at some point. Yeah, the ceiling lights were blinking in response to questions. Let me see. Where's the person that said she had I don't want to lose that person. She's here somewhere. I hear there. Where is that person? I'm going to go backwards here. Welcome everybody to the show. Starlight Temple. I'm going to bring Starlight Temple up here. Let's see. Starlight Temple. I just pressed the guest button. If you can come up here on encounters, if you're still here. Starlight Temple. I have tons of contacts and sightings. So I am very excited here. Starlight Temple, hello.
Hello.
Good to have you with us on the show. I read comments of my audience, and I said this person is going to be amazing.
I had no idea you were going to invite me up here.
When I see comments like that, I have to, because here's a sister somewhere in the world or in the United States that's having some real things happen. And if you're new to the show, it's really feel comfortable here. I've been a contactee myself since I was a kid. So you're amongst people here that really love each other and care about our audience, and it's a good place to be. Can you come on camera?
Sure.
I'd love to have you on camera. I just pressed the button. If you press the save button, we'll have you right on the screen here for our audience. And we have a lot of people here who've had similar experiences, so it's a good place to be. Good to have you with us. Thank you so much.
Hi.
And tell us a little bit about yourself. That comment really kind of like resonated with me, and I was like, wow, here's another person that's having stuff happen, and I think in a good way. Tell us where you are and how things began with you.
I'm here on Starlight Temple. My name is Lucia, and I kind of started, I think around 2010, I started becoming interested in thinking about things from a different perspective. So it was like going down, I guess you could say, a bunch of rabbit holes for a long time and getting really into like aliens and contact, things like that. And so like always really drawn to the sky. But I don't remember seeing anything like before then. But in November, this is a long story short. I don't know like how much detail you want me to go into, but
I guess go into as much as you can. Yeah, it's very important.
Okay. So yeah, I think I had kind of like a long road throughout my life, like kind of like going through the ups and downs, and then a lot of experiences that kind of like made me keep searching and just like finding my resilience and finding my path, I guess you could say. But like it kept me searching and going deeper and deeper. So like around November, I was watching a lot of things on. I always watch a lot of podcasts. But I was really getting into people channeling, so I decided that I wanted to start channeling for myself. And at this point in time in my life, I was like stepping more into, I think for about a year, I was just getting really more into gratitude and just being like grateful for everything, like turning my day into gratitude, where I'm like walking around the house. I'm like, oh, I'm grateful I can walk, because I work with people who are sick physically. So I just became grateful for that, or grateful for doing the dishes, or if I'm in traffic, like, okay, this is a moment of reflection. I started drinking tons and tons of water. Come to find out, water is actually a portal, but becoming grateful for exercise and movement and things like that, and just like appreciating the little things and trying to be in the moment. In November, I was into people channeling, and I decided that I wanted to try to channel for myself. And at first I was just kind of like trying to do it for myself out loud, but then one day I actually received communication back. And then ever since then, I've just been getting constant communication and constant physical signs, lights in the sky, and able to like be in contact with different realms and different beings. So for example, like the Arcturians or the Pleiadians or the Federation of Light. Just like they actually say that I'm a bridge, or like I can channel, that I'm multidimensional, that my soul's highest origin was more towards the angelic frequency, but like that realm. But I've lived many lives in different places. I guess like in the stars as well. Even though they say time is nonlinear, so that's something in itself. But I post all my sightings on my page, and I really appreciate the physical sightings, because when I first started opening up to everything, I kind of felt like I was losing my shit.
Yeah, we have to be careful with language, but go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just felt like I felt sick for a little while. And before I started getting the contact, by the way, I was noticing that I was like feeling nauseous on and off for the whole year. And there wasn't like any reason for it, but I think that was kind of part of my awakening symptoms. When everything first opened up, it was kind of like a reality shock. So I was kind of like sick, I think, for a month. But now I really feel I'm stepping into it.
Did you feel like you were releasing the 3D stuff within your system? Like I think all of us can relate to that. So there was a time when I went to New York State to see this woman, Ashtar Athena. She wrote for Sedona Journal. I had heard about her from a channel I went to of Bashar, from another person who knew Daryl Anka. His name was Andrew. He lived in Connecticut, and he got loads of people coming to hear Bashar, who was from the Essassani. So when that happened, when he had that happen, I asked him about this woman, Ashtar Athena, or Ashtar. I said, do you know of Ashtar? He said, yes. I said, tell them I said hello. I said, now I started wanting know about this. This is probably about less than 30 years ago when I had this experience to go to these channelings of the Bashar thing, and it was very interesting. And I'm not really into channeling much because I've gone past that point. But there was good information there. I met this woman, Athena, and she works with what we call Ashtar Command. They're space people that are very enlightened, very beautiful. And from that, as you know, I got stuck at a gathering. She was on the East Coast in New York. I went to it. I was doing a reggae show on a station in Connecticut, playing like roots music. And I also had my other part of my life, which was interested in the space people, ETs, the whole thing. And I got stuck at this gathering with 12 or 13 people. I don't remember how many there were. And a musician named Richard Shulman. He's a well-known New Age musician of instrumental music. And I was there. I said, what's going on here? But when I got stuck there, everything I believed in, even though I knew the things I knew, I still had these belief systems. So for a week, I felt empty. I didn't feel sick. I felt an emptiness, Did your lights is there something happening with your lighting?
No, I was trying to get it to stay, so that was me. Sorry.
Okay, all right. So I have this stuff going on, and for a whole week, I feel like I'm empty. There's nothing. Everything I thought I believed in was worthless. Everything that I was taught was meaningless. And so, as you're talking about feeling nauseous and everything, I think I can relate to in that way. You're releasing all the things that you weren't, all the things that you thought you were, right? And I don't want to speak for you, but am I getting a sense that you just let go of all that, and then you became your consciousness became elevated, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Now you said that you have had contact, so I'm interested. When did you have physical contact with space people? And also, it sounds like you've had sightings of spaceships.
I feel like a lot of my contact is coming through clear knowing or clear communication with them. I feel like I have a lot of signs and lights, noticing technology glitching, but not like there wasn't like a physical space person that manifested before my eyes.
Right.
But every single time I go outside, I would say that every night I have sightings. I mean, there's stuff all around my house. There's they're on my Ring cameras, and I also record them in the sky. And it's not just like one star or blinking. It's like tons and tons and tons of stuff happening all around me. But I don't ever remember like being taken up into like a ship or
Right.
anything like that. I think they've told me like it's happened, but I don't remember.
And that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, and so when you say they have told you, have they, I think there's a bit of telepathy here, meaning that as opposed to channeling is a very strange word. So sometimes you could be getting telepathic messages. So for me, I get telepathic communications from my space family. I know who they are from the astral level. I used to channel when I first woke up in terms of this whole thing. And then they told me, don't channel. They said, we're telepathically, giving messages, downloads. So in some cases, you might be actually downloading and telepathically having a conversation like you and I are having this interaction, right? So you could be interacting not as a channel, you might be focused, and I think you are. You're able to focus on what they're telling you. So when
Yeah,
they,
it's more like that. I use the words kind of interchangeably,
right, right.
um, because I'm still kind of learning how to describe it. But I think download
Hmm.
might be a better way, or like
Yeah,
telepathic
yeah,
would maybe be a better way. Yeah.
yeah. You're a telepath. I can read that. Just a few minutes I've talked to you. You're a telepathic communicator. For sure. Did they say whether have they told you in their communications where they've come from? The ones that have the ships that you're seeing all the time? Do they communicate that to you?
Yeah. Um, a lot of times they say, I mean, I'm communicating with all sorts. I'm like able to communicate with not just one um one type. So like for example, today they were saying it was like um interdimensional light
Mm-hmm.
being. There's
Interdimensional. Okay.
yeah, there's Pleiadians around. There's definitely I've needed a lot of protection lately, so I always call my protection every night, and so there's these orbs that sit outside of my Ring cameras. So I'm getting like Arcturian energy, Pleiadian energy, angelic frequencies, light
Hmm.
frequencies. Um, I've communicated with so many. I mean, they've told me about how they travel um, in their ships, and a lot of them are they can manifest like in the physical form,
Mm-hmm.
but like a lot of the travel is interdimensional, so it's like they can appear and disappear at different times, or a lot of times they'll like show themselves to us in the way that we're ready. So like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are seeing like I don't know if everybody in here knows what the Dior bags are, and I don't know if you're allowed to say the word
Yeah,
that
we're very I know that's a coded word, but we're very direct and
okay, so like drones are like aircraft that isn't on on the flight radar, but that will be around.
mhm.
And I just started using the flight radar to confirm that because a lot of people were saying, "Oh, that's just a plane or whatever,"
Right,
but
right.
it's not just stuff that's planes that are showing themselves up to me.
Mm-hmm.
There's the orbs. There's the things on my Ring camera. There's the lights flashing around me. There's like me making lights change colors outside. I it's a lot. There's like birds flying up to me, eagles, hawks, things like that. And it's just
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I could just turn my light on.
Yeah, well, I would turn it on. Yeah, at
Yeah.
first I didn't want to say anything. I was just like, don't want to jump the gun and say, "Oh, your lights are doing weird stuff." But
Let me just
yeah,
turn a light on.
there we go. There we go. Very good.
Um,
And so you say you have all kinds of space beings communicating with you, correct?
Yeah.
The ones you've said so far, the Arcturians, Palladians, they're all very positive. Are you are you able to discern yet to make sure that there's no cosmic jokers, meaning, that someone's not playing games with you, that's a space being that is a lower vibrational ET versus the space people that, like the Palladians and Arcturians, which are beautiful energy. Are you able to, are you protected since you've opened up to all that ability for all these different space beings to communicate?
I
Are you able to
feel
protect yourself?
protective. I feel no fear. I feel very protected. When it first started happening, I really was using a lot of discernment, but I always like ask for a white and golden light of protection to be placed around me, as well as
Mm-hmm.
like the blue sapphire light. I ask for only messages and beings
Mm-hmm.
aligned with
Okay.
the highest good of
Yeah.
humanity, the highest good of myself, and
Right.
highest truth to come in.
Right. Right.
Don't fool me. Don't fill my head up and say I'm the most special person out there. Or anything.
Whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
And so, would you say also? I always tell people that I've helped here over the years is that always just also embrace the cosmic Christed consciousness. And I'm going to ask you. I think you know what that is. 'Cause you're shaking your head.
yeah.
You know what Christ consciousness is, right?
Yeah, I actually was, I did, yeah, because I feel like, go ahead, but I feel like one of the things that helped me open up was that I was looking at like all the different religions, and I did feel like there was truth in all of those, but obviously they are a human, they were like changed by humans for control, etc. But what Christ was really teaching us was that we have the power within us. It wasn't about necessarily worshiping him. It was about showing
That's
us
right.
the Christ consciousness within us, and we're able to
That's right.
do that. You don't have to go to a priest to
Right.
to get that within us. It's within us. I
Yes.
actually did a channeling with, I say a channeling or a download with, I really wanted to get the lost books of or the lost pages of Mary Magdalene, and I haven't shared these with people because I just didn't feel very ready, but I have them written down.
Yeah.
And so I've just gone into a lot of, yeah, I really felt like I was communicating with them. I've had the sun spinning. It's on my page. There's just a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot, and I can tell that to come on here and go forward and express your truth is a very big deal for you. I can look at you and see that, and you're in the right spot where no one's making. We never allow anybody for the time I've been here, because I take everything as a contact day seriously, because I've been there. I've seen a big spaceship with beams of light come out, and I didn't know what they were showing me. They were going all over the sky with two beams, and it was a geometry of some sort. And to this day, I'm still been trying to figure it out. But they, for 35 minutes, had this huge ship, real low, spinning around in Connecticut, where I was in the valley in another part of the state, coming out of a club because I did reggae music and I wrote in reggae artists. And I went out there, sparsely lit parking lot, and there was this huge spaceship spinning around very slowly, not even moving. For 35 minutes, I sat there watching the spaceship, and then it shoots out these two balls of light, different colored lights, and they start creating like a design in the sky above me. I was like, and at one point I thought, well, okay, they're going to probably shoot a beam down and take me on this ship. But then I don't remember that happening, but I was there consciously watching everything. So I can understand when you're coming forward like this, you're taking a big step forward, which I appreciate, because my shows that I do here with all my guests are recorded on my YouTube channel. So people, if they missed a show, we get different perspectives here. And that's the whole thing of disclosure, is that we're all part of it, right? You're part of Starlight Temple. I like that name because you are your light, and you are trying to present what your experiences are to our audience. And that's what the show's about, Encounters. It's about people coming forward, not being afraid to share what they're having. And we all learn from each other. And that's the whole basis of my show, is whether you've been abducted, whether you're having Palladians, Arcturians communicating with you, and then when we have scientists trying to figure out there's life on the planet 124 million light years away. And I'm laughing and saying, here I have guests on here that are having telepathic communications with Palladians, Arcturians, and we have scientists that don't even know if this is happening, or they do, and they're just basically ignoring it. And So yeah, I think it's one. Now, when you have these ships around your house, are they different colored ships? And the things on your security camera, what is going on the security camera that you're seeing? Are you seeing orbs or what kind? I have a lot of people would think security cameras, different things happening.
So, on my security cameras, there's been a lot of different stuff happening, especially the past few nights, but I've had so many different things happen. Lately, there's different like orbs that sit outside of my house and they just sit there all night because I've been
Really?
calling in protection and they're big. They're like on
Right.
like if it was on your screen right now, if you go to my page, I post them on there. The past few nights there's been like 5 out there. Tonight there's only 2, but I did a lot of protective work today because there's somebody that I don't want to speak about them, but
No,
I got
we'll
some
keep that
clearing
out.
done. I got a lot of clearing done. So I was like, well, maybe I didn't need all of that tonight, which I miss them when there's not as many there, but they're big and they show up as like a lighter portion on my Ring camera and they'll sit there all night, but then they'll be like all distorted a little bit and like changing kind of shapes. And I've had one time on my Ring camera, there was like something just like spinning and morphing in at my other house in the woods. And it was so crazy. I couldn't explain it. I took a picture in front of my Ring camera the other night because people are like, oh, it's a smudge on your camera. I put my hand up there. I put my face in front of it so people could see that these orbs that are sitting back there are behind me. The lights in the sky will show up as different color orbs, or they will show up at, I had a cloaked ship the other night that looked like a cloud. My son was out there with me. I wasn't even paying attention to the cloud. I was paying attention to the lights. I've had, I feel it, I've had like a whole fleet of stars that started just moving across the sky.
You have a lot of stuff here. I can look at a lot of things here, and on the stuff from April, I see here, watch the entire video, 20% 2 star touches and change directions. So I'm going to show this for, if I may, for a minute. Let me go into my thing here. Hold on a minute. We're going to show one of her video things that multiple moving lights in the sky. You recorded this. Let me see here.
Everything on my page I've recorded myself.
Yeah, let's see here. Let's go here. All right, let me show this here. And I'm gonna
There's something moving.
This is you,
that
your
one
voice.
is a good one.
Let me turn my light out here. Hold on.
So it's really hard to see.
Yeah, I'm trying to. There's a little bit of reflection. I'm trying to get the reflection out. It's in there somewhere, right?
There's a lot. Yeah.
You're pointing out with your camera. You're somehow.
Whoa. Luca, there's something moving up there. Look. Look.
Are you seeing anything, or am I?
It's really hard to see. Right there.
Yeah.
See it.
I see there. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but she
I
does
have other ones that are better than that one.
Yeah. Let me go to another one here. Let's see.
People were kind of freaking out about the cloaked ship one that's pinned to the top of my page, and I wasn't even paying attention to it because it looked like a cloud. And then the cloud just completely disappears before our eyes, like in less than 50 seconds. And
You have here's one here. It looks like it's lane. This is interesting. It says our little friend flashes and changes direction in 30 seconds. Let's look at this. Let me see, right there. So this thing changes directions, correct?
yeah.
Okay, let's see what happens here. Now it's moving one direction. When does it change directions?
Now.
It's getting really bright. Look at it.
Yeah.
So it gets really bright, almost like it's morphing or changing. Now it's going the other way. It's going back the other way. The same object was going one way, now it's going the other way.
Yep, and those are outside of my house every night.
So that specific type of object, correct?
Yes.
When that object's outside your house, what are you feeling as a person?
I feel grateful.
Hmm?
I mean, I feel grateful. I feel protected. I feel gratitude. I feel love. Like that's what I feel. Um,
Yeah,
I there's a lot going on that I can't explain to everyone,
that's okay.
but I just feel I feel connected. Um,
Hmm.
and with everything that I've seen, because there's so much, and I would love for you to look at my page and so you can see, it's just no way that something isn't going on.
Yeah, I mean, if you are documenting things, right? And what's your first name? I know I'm calling you Starlight Temple.
It's Lucia.
Lucia, nice to know you.
Yeah.
So Lucia is seeing all these things. The beautiful thing is you're doing what is important. You're documenting everything that's happening to you. So you can't just, you're not just coming on here saying, I have nothing to show you. You're you're an experiencer. You're having experiences with these intelligences, and they're all around you. They're coming towards you. They're not, not to say that you didn't have any physical contact yet. You probably will eventually. I think that you're getting telepathic communications.
Mhm.
That's the first thing I get from talking to you for the first time. Secondly, you're having all different types of orbs or ships that are appearing around your area, around where you live, and that's happening. So you got two things there. The thing that will eventually happen, I think, is you will eventually, when they feel you're completely elevated enough to accept the contact, I think you will eventually have physical contact. I'm not psychic enough to tell you it's going to be next Saturday, but you down the road, I think you're doing it beautifully the right way. You're learning. You're not being shocked into like something you can't figure out. You're being given information, right? You're being downloaded information and telling you who they are, and they're giving you information so you can be elevated enough once you get there, and they feel it's safe enough. You'll eventually have contact. I feel. Do you feel that way too?
Yeah, and they've told me that.
Hmm.
So I'm expecting it. Um, and I'm also being patient because I know if I feel like they're doing everything in divine timing. So it's like I might think I'm ready, but I'm just going to be patient.
Right.
you
You're
know,
taking it the right way. Taking it the right way, Felicia, because
I'm already getting
patient.
so much. So I'm just going to be grateful for what I am getting. I mean, maybe if it happened right now, I wouldn't be ready. Maybe it would freak me out too much.
Yeah, right.
Everything's been happening so fast. So, um, but then why would I be freaked out when I know they're so loving? You know what I mean? But I'm just waiting for
Yeah.
it a long time. I know it's gonna happen. So
Yeah, I do too. And I'm the same way about it. When an individual is going to be contacted, everything is in you. What you're saying is true. Divine timing, folks. Divine timing is everything, right, for contact. And I think you'll have the contact when it's time for you to have the contact. Wait a minute. I want to thank. So I want people to go to follow her Starlight Temple. Check out her stuff on her Ring camera. All her videos. They'll see them a lot better than on my screen here. Check her out, and definitely you'll see what she has.
thank you
So
so much
yeah.
for having me up. I was not expecting that, but
Yeah, see, you never know. And see, now people are going to look at your stuff. And that's the whole thing. I want people to look at what people are recording. And you have not just words, but Lucia, you're documenting all kinds of contact on a visual level in the sky on your ring camera. I think the fact that they're coming close to your ring camera is that they're trying to let you know they're there. Like they're pretty close to you. Now when you look at orbs, some people say, well, an orb can change into whatever the extraterrestrial orb wants to change into. they can manifest into maybe saying, okay, we're monitoring her to see if she's ready. And so obviously, at some point, it's going to go beyond just the orbs on your ring camera. I think they're eventually going to make contact with you. Now, again, it's divine timing for her. I don't know when it's going to happen, but let us know what happens. You're on here. We're on here 11 o'clock at night normally. I've done the show for 3 years, and we've had contactees on here from all over the world. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on here.
Thank you so much, and I'll definitely be back, and I'll keep sharing. And I really, really appreciate you having me up, and I guess giving me a moment to share with other people, and just taking the time to listen and not judge. So thank you.
Yeah, there's no judgment here. So welcome and thanks for being here, Lucia. We're gonna bring her down. I'm gonna see if Star Knowledge is here. Where is he? Let me see if my friend Star Knowledge is here. I don't know if he's. Yeah, here he is. I'm bringing Eddie up. Eddie is a good friend of the show. I'm still tomorrow. I'm contacting Ancient Aliens. Hey, Star Knowledge, how you doing, brother?
Hey, oh, let me turn my volume up. Here we go. There, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm going to be this. We had a show last night that was unbelievable. The person I had on has space people using his lighting techniques in his home, and it was the most wildest show in 3 years I've ever experienced.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have to prepare ourselves. We have to get ready. You know, there's a lot of people that they're going to be surprised because there's always look for everyone that one of us that are having these experiences like the last guest here. It's like I think the problem that we have as being this human part is that we don't know if we're worthy of that kind of having these experiences with our star family. Like, why me? Why me? Like, why not? Hey, that's a question we said before. Why not you?
Yeah, why not you, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm no better or no worse than anyone else. So, I just because my hair is all ragged because we had sweat lodge tonight, and I'm always surprised when I have these beautiful ceremonies, and I rarely get out of like a sweat lodge or like a ceremony that I'm like looking at the sky, like, are they here? Because I know they're always here.
They are always here.
Yeah, and I was me and my fiance were outside of this is our new home, which walls are bare. We're just moving in, but we're outside, and we were inside having a conversation, and then we took the conversation. We went outside, and we're looking at the stars, and I monologue a lot because she was asking me about something, and so I was telling her about us being ready and us how we're evolving, and we need to be ready for that and know that we're worthy of it, and that there's it's just the being that's within that is that being that everybody says they talk to their higher self, or and I'm like, you are your higher self. It's just letting go of the human experience of how we think that we're navigating our life, and letting the natural intelligent being that's within us all let that um, run our life, so we can be in the process of this evolution. So
Yeah, it's really things have transformed. And I can say, just from a perspective of doing the show on TikTok, when we first got on to 2025, there's been so many transformations of consciousness with people that watch the show, people that have been on the show. We're all going through major shifts in consciousness. And no one is where they were 3 years ago when I first met a lot of the people here. I think if they are still stuck in whatever that time frame is, then they just don't need to work on it. But I think we've all grown in 3 years to a way bigger dynamic than where we are now, where we have been. I mean, and we have to get ready. We have to be prepared. We're getting closer and closer every single moment of our lives that we have to be ready to for what's coming. And I've said it before. I said it before I got on TikTok, that down the road we are going to meet those who are here to be our family. And I don't mean just our biological space family. I mean our galactic family. I mean in the universe, so many different beings, as Eddie knows, that there's so many beings. Like when I went to Ancient Aliens, I met Giorgio at the end of the conference, and not the conference, and they promote their thing. So I went with my cousin and her husband, and they're very into stuff. They're artsy people. They live in upstate New York, about not too far from Woodstock, maybe 30 minutes away. And we're up in the mountains about over 1,000 feet, and it was beautiful in their funky home. And you know, the next day it's snowing out, and we leave to go back to Connecticut. It's 5 inches of snow, but I wasn't there when that happened. We got out of there before, when we got down to ground level, under 1,000 feet or ground level, it's still, up in the mountains. It wasn't like that. There was no snow. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is, we have so many great potentials. And we went to the Ancient Aliens thing. That's what I was going to say. I met Giorgio, who's the producer, and we talked for a little bit. I talked to Nick Pope, who said, "Oh, I know you." He knows me because he's on Facebook, and he's seen me post there every once in a while. I met Martel, one of the other people, Henry Wallace. All these people are into the archaeological areas, and so I was the last person. I got up. This guy who produces, I think the main producer. I got up and said on the second balcony, "Hello, hello. I'm Aleon from Encounters." I waved my hands at the end of the program, and I said, "I'm with the media. How do I?" So he told me, "Just see a staff member," and so I talked to the staff member. They have a lot of staff people, right? And she's checking off all the people for meet and greets. So my mind's saying, I told her it was. Then she goes over to this other door, right straight down the other side, and that's where people are going in to get their pictures and talk to them. I'm saying, but I'm with the media. I'm going to make sure I'm last. I don't want anybody behind me. I'm going to be last. And it worked out that way. We talked to them. He was interested. I complimented them on doing Ancient Aliens. And when you meet Giorgio, he is a really down-to-earth person. They all are. They're just on a big network called History Channel, but they really are interested in what they're doing. And I talked to him about the show and how we are having, I said, you're doing the ancient history of exposing the things we don't know about the space people from an ancient perspective. What we're doing on our show is having people on there having contact with the space people. And so we were having this conversation for a few minutes. So that's the kind of thing, that I talked about the other night on my show from the past weekend, that, I knew that there was something that I had to do. And I knew I had to meet Giorgio, and I had to make myself known to them that there's something happening here. So I don't know how I got into that, but it just basically, there must be a reason. So, it just means that we're building relationships up with other people. And I'm pretty good at doing that. So why not?
Oh, absolutely. I was when I was talking about the conversation that we were having outside, right, about us being ready, and right when I think I stopped for a minute talking, and she saw a flash in the sky. Now we've seen several Pleiadian light ships, but it's just when it becomes more and more, uh, and that's the first part of it. Is that's the wave. That's what she said too. She's all, it felt like a wave, like they're waving to me, like there's, just saying hi. And I said, well, they're downloads, so when they flash, it's a download. So
Yeah.
be open, and it's not just a wave. They have a message, and if you saw it, and for everyone here, even if you don't see it, if they're flashing up there right now, if they're flashing and sending those light codes, just be open when you go to bed, and just be open to the message, and then you can come on here and share your experience with the light code. Usually, it's a dream, or it's a profound message that you get, you hear it, you feel it, So just try to remember it as best as you can. This way, you can come and share it with us here. But
Yeah, and that's the
that's
yeah,
the
that's the
first.
thing.
That's the first thing, because next people were like, well, and they, here's what stops them from coming and from us to having face to face contact is not saying, um, I'm ready. Come, you're welcome into my life. You're welcome into my field. You're welcome because I know that you're a good being that just wants to share with me. So I would like to have more experiences. I have a buddy named Todd Medina that he traveled all over the U.S. and was doing a Facebook thing. He still does, but him and his partner, they opened themselves up so much that they were coming into their room, and they were having these they have these experiences where these beings come to visit them, and they both see, hear, and experience these beings, and most people would be like, well, did you see something, or did you experience something, and it would probably be different, but
Yeah.
then they confirm the conversation with each other, what was communicated. So they're not like hallucinating, or it's
Right.
not
So
a
what you're
fantasy.
saying too, Eddie, is really important. That this Medina, that the fact that they were so open and they were probably well protected in their own consciousness, that the space people came to them physically because they felt that the humans that they were ready to have interaction, and they were operating on a frequency that was high enough to resonate with the space people, where they could physically come in the room. They wouldn't be freaked out seeing a man and a woman from another planet, and they were communicating with each other and saying, "Oh, hi, thank you for coming. You're welcome." Say, well, and then space people saying hypothetically, "Oh, we're glad to be here. We've been watching what you're doing. We're glad that you resonated in our frequency where we can come here and let you know that we are here, and we're wanting that communications." So based on what you're saying, they actually had physical contact.
Absolutely. And this is the simplicity of it, because okay, so sound came before light. Sound creates light because in the beginning there was the word, right? We call it the universe, right? And so it created light, and it created life. And so when we think about like a transmission, like a radio transmission, like from you have back in the day, guys, for all the younger people, we used to have to turn the knobs
Turn the
to,
knobs, yeah.
get the to get the right station to come in.
Yeah, you
Uh,
got the right frequency. There you go.
right. And so and for us to have contact with the beings of higher frequencies, we have to tune ourselves to those higher frequencies. And then we're able to have these contact experiences with those beings. And there are some physical beings that are not as advanced, I would say, as far as like being a being of light, but because they
Hmm.
also have a physical body like ourselves. So
Yeah,
but they still can hear us if we can dial into to that frequency where they go, oh, hey, hi, okay, yeah, they want us to come visit, and then
yeah,
they'll come and they'll visit us if we're ready for them.
right. Absolutely true. So I think it's important, and as we are now going to a pivotal moment in our time in history, this year alone, this is a very important year for us because this is the year where we're transcending time and space. And no one ever talked about that, but let's talk about that, folks. Do you realize that we are transcending everything in our time frame on Earth into a space continuum? What do I mean by that? What is a space continuum? It means that we've been in a time continuum in this time bubble for over 70 years. And I can only say that because this is as long as I can understand current history of our planet. Not to say that I don't understand the ancient history, but I'm talking about right now. Huh?
I'll be right
It's,
back. I'm just gonna get a picture in the background.
oh, yeah, no problem. And so, we're in this space continuum versus time continuum. So we're shifting from time, where everything is revolving around time on our planet, to a space continuum. Do you know what I mean? Everybody, when I say space continuum, this is allowing for our star people, the space people, the light beings, to actually come into our visual presence. And it allows them, based on your frequency adjustment in your consciousness, if your vibrational body and your mind is operating at a, I know some of you are doing this, as Eddie was talking about Medina, if you're operating at a high frequency and you are not afraid to have the contact, you will have the contact without a question. If you say you're ready for contact and you're not having the contact, there's a reason for it, because you're verbally ready, but you're not vibrationally ready to interact yet. So that sometimes gets kind of messy, because you want to be saying, oh yeah, I'm ready, but your vibrational frequency is not high enough yet, even though you think it is. You can think all the things you want about your vibration, but you have to work on elevating it every day in order to be at that point. They'll know when you're ready. You'll be at that vibrational pattern where there will be actual physical contact with each and every one of you. It's all based on elevating vibration. Yeah.
So the picture I put behind me, that's because I've shown you the bar before with the symbols on it, that the replica that Chief made. Well, this one that I'm showing that's in the background, that is from Project Blue Book, the TV show.
Okay.
So it was season 2, episode 1, and they were showing the Roswell crash. And so they were the replica that I showed before of the bar with the symbols on it. That is what they showed my chief before Project Blue Book was released, because that was released in 2016, 2015.
Mhm.
And he had the symbols back in 1983, right? So 20 years before before they released disclosed the files for Project Blue Book. So when the CIA and all them came to him and were like, where did you get this information? Where did you get these symbols? And he told them, the same people you got them from. And they were like, well, who told you about this?
Right.
And he said, the same people.
Same people.
And so, because they thought there was a leak, and he was telling them, no, same people.
Same people. No different. Those people, those people.
Yeah, so when they did the TV show, they got this bar not from, because Chief was on Ancient Aliens, season 3, episode 1, Space, was it called Cowboys and Aliens? And he took the bar with him and he showed these symbols on the bar back in early 2000s. It was season 3. So it was way before Project Blue Book came out, but they didn't get this bar and this information about these symbols from him. He was, it's not important to for the people that were writing the show, right, to copy his stuff. They got this from Project Blue Book, and then they got the symbols. Even on the first episode, they showed the original symbols, and then season 2, episode 1, they showed this scene.
And what is that, by the way? Can you explain what that is?
That is a piece of the crash from the a bar with the symbols on it. Now, if you want me to explain what the symbols are, the symbols, okay, so the metal is a living conscious metal. And what the symbols do is they help to create that consciousness within the ship to travel through space-time. So where it takes what we call light years, the symbols are the ones that when they communicate with the symbols, they activate, so they can bend space and time and to get from one place to the other in the matter of minutes, right, versus light years. So what would take them hundreds of thousands of years to get here takes them just a couple minutes. And it's really interesting to think that, because when I read the symbols, the books, about the symbols, and it tells us how to navigate the symbols through the seasons and all this stuff. It's like but what's my first thing was, well, what's the purpose? Why is it so important that I have to be a good person? And it's not that. What it's teaching you is how to use the symbols and vibration and frequency in order to activate the symbol, which you become connected to, and then you open up a portal to the information that's in the symbol. And I went,
Mm.
that sounds like too much work.
Yeah, too much work, right?
But I did it. Of course, I traveled with Chief for years, so I'm like, I'm gonna find out if this is legit.
Yeah,
And I'm still here. I'm still here, so
and you're still here, and you found out it was legit, correct?
absolutely.
Yeah. And so, just for people's knowledge, no pun intended, Eddie is involved with the Star Knowledge conferences, and on those conferences over the years, he's not only met many people. Many of these people are well known in the circuit on this subject of higher intelligence, about space people, about contact in all areas, from the scientific perspective in a more enlightened way to all areas, right, Eddie? You've met all these. What are some of the names that you've met over the years that are involved in, who have written books about the subject, or were at lectures, have talked about things that people didn't know about?
Oh, let's see. Thomas Johnson, him and his wife Terry Rivera, they are facilitators for the Serpent Mound ceremonies that happen out there. They have the equinox, uh, where they have speakers. It's a Star Knowledge event.
Yeah,
So Chief used to go and, of course, would speak. So other people used to facilitate, and Chief would so he didn't have to do all the work.
right.
Uh, so Terry and Thomas Johnson, if you look him up, he's an archaeologist. He's found the biggest fossils, the trilobite fossils in America. So he had them at the Smithsonian. Chief's book, the symbols from Chief Golden Light Eagle, which back in the day he was Chief Standing Elk, is in the Smithsonian as well. So the symbols books that we carry are in the Smithsonian,
Oh wow.
with those symbols on them. the
Yeah.
the book with those symbols is in the Smithsonian. That was
Right.
written by him, Silver Star, and a couple of other grandmothers and people that we know. But so Thomas Johnson was also on Ancient Aliens with Mahudi, Clifford Mahudi. He was I'm trying to remember. He's a Native American elder that passed back in the day. Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember the guy's name that talks about the NDEs
Oh,
and
near-death experience. I think I kind of remember who you're speaking about, but I can't remember the name.
we had I met gosh, I can't remember the other guy's name either. That he's on Gaia TV, and his wife came and spoke at last year.
Hmm.
But I can't remember. I can't remember his name or her name because we
Yeah.
we just met in passing. So she said, "I know your group. Yeah, you. It's a wonderful group of people that come and speak. We always have different guests, and like I said, next year we're going to have who did I say? Greg Braden. Is that what I said?
Craig Braden,
Yeah.
CmdrAleon is going to be there. I'm just
Yeah.
joking. I'm not really joking. I don't know when it's going to happen.
I know, and she can't. And that's the funny thing is Nikki can't. Um, she can't. Because I told her to book one of my mentors, and she's already booked out. Next year's already full, and I'm like,
Really? Holy mackerel.
okay, well, I got to get some people in there. I got to get
Right.
people into the. So what
Right.
we're going to do is we're going to expand the events. We're not just going to have the one event. We need to have multiple events so we can get more speakers in. Because for me, I can't believe that as soon as that one was over, we're already booked up.
I can't. That's
You know,
unbelievable, man. That tells you how people are really interested in
uh,
general the subject and the knowledge
yeah.
and all of
And,
that.
what you gain from coming to a Star Knowledge event is more than just listening to speakers. What you get is you get to meet all the people around you, because a lot of the people that come have spoken. They're on similar paths, and you get to meet all the like minds around you and go, "This is why I came here. I didn't come here just to listen to speakers. I came here to
Right.
connect with
It's
my
a communal. It's like almost a communal uh, festival of minds coming together, consciousnesses from all over the world, and I'm sure they come from Europe and other countries to go to this. And it's a way to bring people together in such a dynamic gathering where you're not just, like you said, you're not just going there for the speakers. You might be sitting next to somebody also listening to the speaker. You start talking to each other and you say, "Wow, I didn't know that about you. Let me tell you who I am and what I'm." So you're basically, and everyone's getting enlightened collectively, not just by a speaker, but by each other. It's almost like a merging of all these consciousness people coming from all over the place, no matter from Japan or the United States, and they're all learning about each other and about what's happening in their part of the planet. And so there is definitely a synergy of energy that brings all these people together, correct?
Absolutely. It's I think these events with because you're going to an event pretty soon. Um, we if you guys haven't been to events, you need to start going to some of these events, because it's an accumulation of a remembrance. What we're doing is
Mm-hmm.
we're getting together so we can share the knowledge that helps us to remember and regain the remembering of what we truly are, the star being that we are, and that we're not this localized consciousness inside a human that is stuck here and we're waiting for them to come. It's more like, oh, I am already a part of the Galactic Federation. Oh, I didn't. I thought I needed like a membership or something. It's like, no, no,
Right.
no.
No.
We just have to raise our vibration.
And speaking of that, one of the people in here, Starlight Temple, was just on before you. She wants to know how, and I'm sure a lot of people want to know this. How do people watching the show here sign up for the gathering, for the conference?
Go to Facebook and just type in Star Knowledge 1111, or just type in Star Knowledge. Let's see. There's Star Knowledge Serpent Mound. So, like, if you're in Ohio or the surrounding areas, their events are beautiful. I love going to Ohio for those events. If you wanted to come to, on Facebook, Star Knowledge 1111. Well, it's just we have a page there, so you can go, and there's a couple of them: the Star Knowledge Conference page and the Star Knowledge 1111. Just go to all of them. I know, yeah, it's good for. She said, "I don't like Facebook." Just go there and go to the pages, and then we update the pages. They actually have Nikki and Linda just started. If you want to learn about star knowledge, about what we know and what we learn and what we practice here in our lodges and in our daily life, um, Nikki Zephyr and Linda Ivory, which is Ivarie, they are doing teachings. I think it's once or twice a month, and it might be just once a month because it's the different moons. So every moon, there's going to be a different symbol that's going to be taught. Those are going to be teaching on. So if you guys are interested in that, look them up. Nikki Zephyr, Nikki Zephyr, or just message me and I'll share that I can share more information with you. And
Yeah, and you can do that, and Eddie is, we've become really really close friends, even though we're in different parts of the world here, not too far, but there's a synergy of energy we've blended together very well in all the things that he shares, all the knowledge that I have in my being a contactee, and I've not written any books. I did write for Sedona Journal, which was for several years, which for me was a big step because I would read things in there and say, well, maybe I'm supposed to start writing. I've never written a book. I've always thought about it. I one time started writing a book about Ashtar, about the history, and then I stopped because I felt like it was tough enough to sit down for me to start writing a book. I felt like for me, it's doing this. This is my book. Being here, this is my book. My book is to be visual with people. My book is to be speaking, interacting. So I've said over the years, and I've said even before I was on TikTok, when people meet me, I said, I don't really look at much on the social media spectrum. Once in a while, depending what it is, I'm basically getting my knowledge from within my consciousness, which is what we were given a gift of when we came here. But we always go seeking it out there on the internet, finding out what that is that we are, when what we are is right here. So we're trying to go away from what we are to get to where we are, and then what we're going away to get to where we are, and like, wait a minute, I'm going away from myself to find myself. So if I go farther away from myself, will I find myself? Will I find my cosmic consciousness? Will I find my connection to my star family if I go away from myself? And I said, no, I don't go away from myself. I go within myself, which allows me to go connect with my space self, with my star self, with my cosmic self. I don't run away from myself. I run into myself. I say, oh, I was running away from me. Oh, look in the mirror. Here I am, right here in the mirror. Why am I running away from that? You know? Very simple, folks.
Yeah.
I think I said something very simple.
But that's what we start at the beginning is it's the breadcrumbs. We left ourselves breadcrumbs, and then we start seeking. It's like when I didn't know anybody or anything. I didn't know there was a conscious community. I didn't know what was out there. Period. I was like, I need to find some information, and then as soon as my heart really put it out there, then all of a sudden I met my mentors, and then from there I went to Mount Shasta, and from there I went to Sedona, and from there I'm like, what am I looking for? I don't know what I'm looking for, but I know there's something I'm looking for, and I need to know that it's true, and not something that's that's gonna disappoint me. I don't want to be disappointed. I've had enough disappointment in life. I need to know that this is real. And when I started, the more I did find a lot of people that didn't know anything and that, want to be cult leaders and stuff. And I'm like, nope. I'm staying away. I'm going to go that way. I'm going to keep looking. So that's why when I found Chief Golden Light Eagle, I was like, I'm going to see if he's legit, because I don't need to, I got a property in Hawaii. I can always run home. And then I found the community. I started talking to people, and I was like, okay. So all you're doing is you're what I've known inside is actually it resonates with what you're saying, because we're basically saying the same thing. And I said, okay, now I'm on track. I'm finding truth within others that have experienced truth, and it really helped me to settle into my skin. It really helped me to settle into this path. And now
you can tell that you are settled, because you can see that you've been doing the work. You went on the journey. You're no different than me or anyone else. We all, no matter what decade we're born in, depending on the decade, we start our journey when we're here and being born on Earth. You can be born in the 70s, and when you got a little bit older, you started having your journey. You could have been born in the early 2000s, and you're starting your journey. You can be born right tomorrow, and you're a little baby not watching us on TikTok, and you're starting your journey from that little tiny baby.
No, me and you, we're special. We're special.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it because I'm humble, but you just said it, Eddie. We are special. We are really special, folks. We are special. Do you know how special we are? Let me just say something. If we're not special, then who is?
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing, is we're all special, which means none of us are special.
Really. Yeah, we're all special. Everybody out here, just remember, you're all special. Don't anyone ever tell you you're not.
Yeah.
You're all special.
Yeah, we need you to be special up here with us, so you know how important you are in our hearts and you know that you are our family and we love you that much. We love you
Yeah.
so much. But we had to find it within ourselves to go, oh yeah, now I remember. Oh, thank gosh, I remember. Oh, so I don't.
It's just
Like I always say, I don't hate anybody. I do not like certain things that people do, but I do. I love
right, right.
everyone.
Yeah, I don't like certain things people do either. When I watch the world once in a while, how
Yeah.
we're doing things to the planet, those 3D people think that they've got it all figured out, but they don't know that there are some people here that are operating on a different frequency, conscious wise. And we look at these people and say, that's pretty strange to me, man. Why are they, why do they think that they know everything and they're going to be so special? And some of these people, these leaders of the so called world, think that they're going to be so special that when contact happens, the people of Earth are not going to be contacted. People like here in our audience will never be contacted. Oh no, the people on Earth, the regular people, they're not going to be contacted. I'm the Prime Minister of Zangang country or whatever. I'm going to be contacted first. Look, we have caviar here. We'll give them the highest, the most expensive wine. Like the space people are going to sit down with the caviar and the wine. They're going to be drinking it, and they're going to see all these people dressed in very expensive shoes and clothing, and say, can we meet the people of Earth, the regular people? We're not too happy here in the big dining room with golden plates. We want to meet the real people of Earth. Can you let us see them? A matter of fact, if you don't let us see them, we're going to go anyway. We're far more advanced than you are. We can disappear in this room in 2 seconds, so we can say bye bye. So the thing is, folks, these people that I'm kind of kidding, but there are these people that have concealed the truth for over 70 years, not just in this country, but all over the world. All the different countries are to blame for that, and they think they're so special that when contact happens, it is privy to people in the White House, it's privy to people in the Kremlin, it's privy to people in Paris and in the parliaments in England or whatever, China. Those people think they're going to have the contact. Those people think that they're privy to the communications. Excuse me.
It's
Excuse me.
us. It's us that they're going to come to. It's those of us that are choosing to be in higher frequency. They're going to come, and they're going to communicate with us because we know how to raise a vibration to get to that point. The leaders, they think that they're already there because they're in a place of power, and it's like it's not the place of power. The power is within.
Right, right. It's not exactly such an important point here on Encounters. This is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. We'll be here till 1 a.m. in the morning, and again, like I said, please follow me. If you're not following the show, press the follow button and also the like button. We really appreciate that. We're at 75,000. Can we get to 100,000 before 1 o'clock? I think we can. We have 246 viewers all over the world. If everybody taps on my side of the screen, which you have to do, tap on the screen, keep tapping, everybody, and we're at 75 too. Let's get up to 100,000 before 1 a.m. here on the East Coast. So can everybody do that for me? I appreciate it. They think they're privy to they're going to have the contact. That's why, obviously the U.S. government had a deal with the lower vibrational ETs that we've talked about over the years. So they made their contact. Yeah, they did. They made their choice. They chose the ones that were destroying their own planets. So it made perfect sense. If let's make deals with the advanced spaceship people from worlds that are in the Zeta system or whatever, or reptilians that have destroyed their planets or can't do anything right. And let's have them. We'll make a pact with them. And we've had our contact. So when they talk about contact, the people in top secret security clearance have had contact with lower vibrational ETs, and if they had any higher vibrational ETs, they've tried to entrap them and not let them leave the planet. And I'm pretty sure that's happened too. So they've had their contact, they've had forced contact, and the ones that wanted to control our planet that are not so good were willing to talk to the people in the White House and say, can we do this? Yeah, of course you can do it for as many years as you want. Have fun. That's what they did. The higher vibrational Christ conscious beings or people from other worlds, they also had the ability to meet with our government many years ago in the deserts out in the West Coast in Arizona and other places. And these are well documented cases in books that are now out of print. A person named Daniel Fry, I have one of his original books. There are a number of other contactees that had contact with the space people. These people weren't, Daniel Fry was in the government at one point, but most of the contactees that were the ones in the desert that were taken on ships were just regular, everyday human beings. They're not alive anymore. They probably would be in their 90s. But the fact of the matter is, we are the people that are having the contact. And I'm going to actually, I know we have some people in queue that want to join us. So we're going to bring people up to join us. And we'll bring them up to join us. And you can talk to me and Eddie on the show here. We'll bring up Leica first, then Ramona, and then Melissa Jenkins. So we're going to bring up Leica first. And you're on here with Encounters Star Knowledge Podcast with my friend Eddie, who I've known for a number of years. And you can ask both of us or share information with us, and we'll definitely have this interconnected thing, unless Facebook, or not Facebook, TikTok is going weird. Right now it's spinning. So we'll take the next person. I don't know what happened. We're going to bring up Ramona and then Melissa Jenkins. Let's bring up Ramona. You're watching Encounters tonight with your host, CmdrAleon, and Star Knowledge Podcast, and also a person involved in Star Knowledge conferences. Hey, how you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Good. And say hello to my friend Eddie of the Star Knowledge conferences.
Nice to meet you, Eddie. My real name is Sebastian, by the way, Eddie.
That's right, Sebastian, right. I don't know. That's how you always say that. So Sebastian's been on this show before. And welcome to our live broadcast. And what would you like to share tonight, or ask, or what have you?
So, a lot of synchronicities started popping up. They almost seem targeted. So, a little bit of background. My family name is Rosas. It's the Spanish word for roses. My name literally sounds made up. Sebastian Roses. I know. I didn't pick it. It just kind of happened. But there's been a lot of TikTok videos talking about roses popping up, and like the rose holds the key messages type of thing. And then a few psychics that I've like reached my energy out to say that my sigil is a rose. I was like, okay, that's a weird coincidence. What does that mean? Like, what key? If it's about me, what key do I hold? And then I got contacted again, and I was told to look into the Septisync tapes. So I did that, and immediately inspiration struck. So I'm a professional musician, and the idea to put the frequencies, the Septisync frequencies, into a song hit me like a ton of bricks. And then I just asked my spirit guides if that was what they were trying to hint at, and they basically said yes. That like my purpose is to wake people up through my music, whoever will listen to it, like discreetly. Like they're not gonna know that they're being woken up, but it'll happen.
Yeah, makes sense to me. What do you think, Eddie?
Well, okay, so my last name is Hinesley, which when it's broken down, it means like hind is a deer, and then Lee, like Leigh, is like an open meadow. So my last name means deer in an open meadow. So back in the day, they had a crest for the Hinesley family, which is a deer. There's a deer on it, and it's blue and white. So when I had a shaman from South America. He's like, I want to do your chart, and I was like, okay. And so when he did my chart, my spirit animal came up as deer, and
Oh wow!
I was like, so there's something, yeah. Like, how I can't. It's not coincidence, you know.
No, it can't be.
No, and so I started looking up into my family, the name history, and the Hinesley people in England, when they migrated up there, they became the woodsmen. They were the service they were people that were in service, but they lived in the woods. And so what they would do is, if there were lords around that needed servants, they would go to those people, and they would say, "I'm looking for people of service," and the men would go and they would serve. And if they were trustworthy, then their families came and they served them as well.
Oh wow.
And I was like, it was like the whole thing was like learning the path and learning all this stuff was like learning about the giveaway and like how nature works and like how everything is in service to each other, and how intelligent a seed is in the fruit, that when a bird can swallow it and take it miles away and then let it go, and then now it's got the nutrients of the being digested, and then now it has the prime conditions to become and grow somewhere else. I'm like, and so it was
Yeah.
this was like how everything in the universe works, and I went, okay, so me being in service, like I everything tying together, I was like, well, then how do I receive? And it's like, well, that's you can't expect anything in return. You have to allow your service to eventually just everything come back, and you get everything that you need.
Yeah. It just kind of falls into place on its
Yeah.
own.
It really does. It really does, doesn't it? It's like
Yeah,
a puzzle that
and it was
is
interesting.
coming together. Yeah. Go ahead.
I had recently found out that I'm a Lyran starseed, which explains the music part. And I had seen a comment. Someone was asking about the frequencies. So the way the septisync tapes work is they play a frequency in your ear, like your left ear. Let's say it's like 50 hertz, and then in the right ear it's slightly different. It's 55 hertz. It's just a straight sound on either side. If you take out either earbud, it's just going to sound like a doo, like a drone, right?
Mm-hmm.
But your brain creates a rhythm from intercepting both of those frequencies at the same time. It creates its own beat. So I have to now, this is the part that stresses me out, because they're not giving me any hints as to what frequencies I need to be able to play it in the key of C. So that way I can make an actual song out of it on my guitar.
Yeah.
And I have to now like research and figure out what like the tempo of it, the like how to get the right frequencies to the key I'm trying to get to. Yeah, binary beats. It's that. Except I make metal music, so I have to find something that isn't necessarily like calming per se. The way I'm gonna wake people up is in a very like jarring way,
That's going to be interesting.
Find a friend that has singing bowls, and then they can play two different bowls at the same time, and then you'll hear it. And so you'll learn to pluck those two notes at the same time.
That's interesting.
That's a good
You know,
idea.
you could mix the heavy metal with the singing bowls. There have been artists in the heavy metal. I can't remember who it was. It wasn't. They're well known. They've been around for years. They made an album with a I don't know if London Symphony Orchestra or one of those things, and they did heavy metal. But they had, I can't remember the artist. I mean, they've been around for years. They're what?
Cool.
No, it's a well-known artist, and I would listen to their music, and it's
Bring Me
like
the Horizon.
no, it's a well-known. They've been around for a number of years. They've made albums. They've been in large concert halls, and I can't remember their name, but they have
Metallica.
Metallica. That's it. Thank you.
Okay.
One of their albums a few years ago, and it was actually different. They you heard their voices more than the instruments, but you heard. I think they had London Symphony Orchestra or something merged in with their music, and so I think
remember that album. It was all live too, if I remember correctly. It was
amazing.
A live recording. Yeah.
I think, and the reason I'm mentioning that is because I think with the singing bowls, Eddie, that you're mentioning, I think what I'm getting is you need to fuse you need to mix that in with the metal and have that synergy of sound, like changing it. Metal, could be used, and you want to get them to wake up. I think that I'm just giving you an idea here that I think it's a fusion between the two types of sounds come together. If that means anything, I don't know.
Mhm.
Just like
Yeah,
you're saying
I
it
was
about
thinking more
singles.
so about the tempo of it, right? So
Yeah,
like if I can find whatever two frequencies combined sound like they're in the key of C, then I can set the tempo of the song to whatever rhythm the brain naturally wants to create out of that frequency mashup.
yeah,
And then from there write the song around the the frequency. So to anyone who's listening who doesn't know, they're just thinking it's a synthesizer that's being played, and it's like, oh, cool, that's a cool effect,
right,
and then
right,
the
right.
song comes in. But to anyone who is aware of what's going on, it's gonna open your brain up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, and I know for me, when I'm meditating, I have to be careful when I'm driving because on my Spotify, I have a list of songs music I use instrumentally when I do live workshops in Connecticut, which I'll be doing this year, that take people right out of their bodies off planet. I use them for my journeys off planet, but I have to be careful not to listen to it going on the road because then I get very much in tune to a different frequency, and you have to drive your car on an interstate highway. It doesn't kind of work too well,
Yeah.
So you be really careful, there
Hmm.
are different artists that have created things like Pink Floyd, you can say, in some of their music have definitely been very spacey in the instrumental sounds that they create. It takes you into a different place. And I
Hmm.
think
I
that's where
think
you're
the
trying
Beatles
to,
too were kind of
the
like the
Beatles too,
pioneers
yeah.
of that.
Yeah. And I think what you're trying to do, Sebastian, is take people now that you are having contact and waking up to your star family. It's going to change the musical sound a little bit too. I think you already realized that. I mean, you
Yeah.
love the metal sound, but it's not going to be just metal. You're going to be branching out into other frequencies that you're going to be testing out. And I think it's going to be phenomenal what you're going to be coming into in your musical journey, cosmically infused with what you're doing right now. I think it's all going to be very interesting.
I think they may have picked me because also the metal music that I make isn't just metal. I mix other genres with it. I have
Yeah.
one song called Demona that has like Spanish, Latin, salsa
Oh,
vibes
interesting.
mixed with
Okay.
metal. I don't know how I made that work, but I made it work. And then I have another song that just recently came out called Something from Nothing, and that one mixes like elevator jazz with metal.
Oh, interesting. So yeah, you're doing it. That's
So
evidently I was tuning into
yeah,
that. You are doing that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool.
and I
And
did that
now,
before contact even happened. Now they're kind
wow,
of like, okay, use what you know and do
right.
this with the
And they're going to
frequencies.
help
Wake
you.
people up.
The space people, as you get more in tune with them telepathically, they'll give you some ideas for your musical, vibrational stuff, and take it to heart. I mean, obviously, they're helping you. They want to bring in the vibrations from space where they're from, and that's going to help you help a lot of people when you do concerts or shows. They'll get the vibes going into their whole vibrational frequency of their body. It's going to affect them
Hmm.
in ways that they've never been affected before. I think too.
And I've also been shown how to channel my energy into the frequency that's being recorded. Like whenever I sing or scream, or even just play guitar, how to channel my energy, like record the energy essentially, so that way when people
Yeah.
hear it, they're emotionally impacted by what I'm doing.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. What do you think, Ed? Any, you've been listening for a bit.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say?
You're gonna you're gonna reach a point in your understanding of sound. I said this tonight in Lodge because we were talking about they asked me to say something to the people that are going up on the hill for their vision quest, and because today was about the body, and I said, a lot of times we don't think about sound as being physical. I said we think that
Hmm.
it's just a vibration, but it is a physical thing when it comes into the ear, and it affects the body. It affects
Hmm.
the emotion. It affects a lot of things. It affects the mind. It affects the blood. So I said, but somebody told me, a musician once told me. He didn't tell me. He told a bunch of us. He said, "You guys want to hear the loudest sound in the universe?" And then everybody stops. He's like, "Listen," and there was silence. And I said, I understood at that moment that you're when you're recording and you start to record these songs and you're speaking one thing and you're thinking another, that's going to be the telepathic sound in your mind is going to be recorded into your music as well. I don't know why I just
Yeah.
said that to you. I don't know. I don't know. That's your step into evolution to not just put it like that binaural beat, but the telepathic message as well. So that's a big responsibility because our minds a lot of the times want to deceive us and trick us into like saying or so it's a big responsibility to whatever message that you record down. You're gonna find yourself going, I didn't mean to think that, and then I gotta re-record this, and they're gonna go, no, it sounded good what you said. And you're like, that's no, you don't understand what I'm recording here. I'm not just recording my words. So you'll find yourself going, okay, I'm becoming in this practice of singing and then telepathically laying down the track because it is sound because I can hear myself, my voice in my head, right? You can hear yourself when you're thinking things.
Yeah.
So you're gonna project that into the music as well.
I could see that. It's interesting you say that too, because they've already been, and I've noticed so they've been projecting lyrics into my head, like the kind of message that the song should be about, right? And for a moment there, I thought maybe this is just my inspiration, but then they told me no, this is us. Like we're telling you, like you can creatively make it how you want it to have a rhyme scheme, but this is what it has to be about, you know?
Interesting. Well, I'll tell you, we're getting into about 1:07 in the morning on the East Coast, and I don't want to even cut it short, but I'm looking at time, and I want to, thank Sebastian, who I've had on before. He's a great musician, and he's starting to have contact with his space family, which is only going to get bigger and better and stronger as the vibrational frequencies shift. I also want to thank Eddie of Star Knowledge podcast, and also a person who works with the Star Knowledge conferences. It's already filled up. It's already happening, and we're eventually gonna. When this one's completely booked out, I gather that there's some movement to create some other things throughout the year that will be events too, and we're working on it. Even in our not being on here live, I know that we're communicating with each other in probably the cosmic levels when we're sleeping, and he's going to be facilitating, get me to come out one of these big conferences, and I've agreed to share my knowledge at one of these conferences with everybody around the world, and we'll let you know when that happens. We'll let you know here on the show. So I want to thank you both for being here.
Podcast too.
And we're going to do podcasts. Eddie, let me know when you want me to do that. I'm going to do a podcast with Eddie. I've never done, I've never done in my broadcast history a thing called a podcast. So you're going to be the first one I've ever podcasted with. So that's going to be interesting. Thank you so much. Let me know when you want me to do it, and just how to get in touch with me. So, Sebastian, thank you. Any last
well?
Yeah, and any last things you want to say before before tonight's over?
Nothing that comes to mind.
Okay, that's fair enough. I want to thank you both for being here. You're watching Encounters. I want to thank them both. All my audience, please, most definitely. Everybody who's not following me, press the follow button on my live. Press the like button. We're almost at 100,000, and we just hit 100,000 tonight. Just to let people know, we've had 2,600 people watch the show at some point between the time of 11 o'clock till 1:09 a.m. in the morning. 2,600 people. That's a lot of people. So you don't notice that when you see 200 or 300 people looking at the show, but there have been people that have been touched by our show, even if it's for 5 minutes. They've come in here to see what we're doing. And they'll be back. They're just getting there. Like TikTok is the kind of thing where people are scanning, seeing things, and then they eventually will come back. I guarantee it. Okay, guys, take care. Eddie, Sebastian, have a great night. We're going to let them down.
You as well.
And we'll do this here gracefully here. And let's do this here. Let's see. All right. So, again, thank you for supporting us. We made our goal at 10 minutes after 1. And, again, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, we'll be on tomorrow night. And I will definitely do more interviews. Starlight, thank you for being on with us. I appreciate you coming on our platform. Keep in touch with us. And I do believe you'll eventually have contact Jenny. Come back on with me tomorrow night. I'll have you as my first guest on Friday night. Excuse me. And I want to hear what's going on with what you have happening. Everybody, Jersey for Life, Do Blue, everybody out there, Sophie, all the people out there, Star, Advanced. Yeah, drink some water. This show will be on my YouTube channel. Please go to my link. The link will be, what time, Jenny? We're on the East Coast. We're on at 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, and 8 o'clock, which would be on the West Coast. 4 a.m. in the morning if you're in the UK or Europe, and 3 a.m. if you're in New Zealand or actually out in Australia, or one of those places. Anyway, take care, everybody, and we'll see you later. We'll see you tomorrow night, Jenny, and we'll have you on as our first guest. Everybody, be well. Have a good night.